I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine. Please,
She's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Welcome to Review the Audits. Here, we break down real encounters between members of the public and the police. We examine the law, the conduct, and the context, so you understand your rights, their responsibilities, and exactly where the line is drawn. With thanks to News Now Yorkshire for allowing us to cover and analyze this police audit. Be sure to subscribe to his channel and support his work by liking his videos. You'll find a link in the description below. In this episode, News Now Yorkshire is lawfully flying his drone outside a police station when a sergeant decides the situation calls for force rather than facts. She alleges that he swore at her, an accusation the footage does not support, and instead of addressing the matter directly, she summons additional officers to act on that claim. From that point on, the threat of arrest is used to obtain his personal details, not to deal with any genuine offense. This is policing by allegation, not by evidence. And it only moves in one direction. It doesn't end with officers proving a point. It ends with News Now Yorkshire taking the matter to court. Because when a sergeant sets the tone with a false claim, the consequences are not just predictable, they are unavoidable.
For any particular purpose, is it a hobby, is it a research project, anything like that?
I don't know yet, at the minute.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand an officer's just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plain clothes, personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details, just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not up to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not, like, sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I? Until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence, for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They approach him already armed with a narrative that he swore at the sergeant, and treat it as established fact. News Now Yorkshire doesn't get drawn into a back and forth. He cuts straight through it by pointing to his body-worn camera and reminding them exactly why independent recording exists. And that matters, because it exposes the imbalance instantly. One side has a spoken allegation. The other has footage. Then comes the pivot to something far more serious. When he refuses to provide his personal details, the justification suddenly shifts to checking whether he's linked to any terrorist groups. That isn't a legitimate reason. It's a pressure tactic.
So that's why I'm asking you for them as well.
Right.
So could I have your name and date of birth and address, please?
What, you think I've committed a public order offence?
Yeah, because an officer's just told me that you've sworn at her in the street.
Well, I need to get her to make that statement then, because she's lying.
Well, she's just told me as she's driven in that you've sworn at her.
Did she?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll be making a complaint about her then.
That's absolutely
And if you
fine.
take my details, I will have to sue West Yorkshire Police.
That's not a problem. You feel free to do so. The reason I've explained the reasons why I'm asking you for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will.
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be. Yeah, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified.
Right.
And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want.
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to.
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out plain and simple.
This is where the logic collapses completely. They claim a public order offense has been committed, not because of anything actually happening, but simply because the sergeant says so. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he doesn't provide his details, the response becomes circular. He's then potentially committed another offense, which potentially justifies arrest. That isn't law. It's threat recycling. Invoking Section 24 of PACE only exposes the problem further. Arrest necessity cannot be based on rank or convenience. It requires evidence. Here, the only foundation is a colleague's allegation, even after footage is offered that would resolve the issue instantly. They refuse to view it. And that refusal matters. When officers actively avoid evidence that could clear the situation, it reveals intent.
I don't think I have to give my details, officer.
You do.
I do.
You've been verbally abusive towards somebody.
I haven't though.
She's alleging that you have.
I haven't
As
though.
I said before, I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed a public order offence.
But I haven't.
Okay, listen to me. Because of that nature, that's why I require your details. And as I've explained to you, if you don't give me your name and address, and can't verify who you are, it may make your arrest necessary in order to ascertain those details.
Will you arrest me if I don't?
I'm not saying I definitely will, but I'm saying it may make your arrest necessary.
Am I being detained right now?
At the moment, because I need your details.
Yeah, I'm being detained.
Potentially, if you don't give me your details, you may be arrested as well.
No, I just want to check if I'm being detained right now.
I understand why you can't just give me your details.
I'd rather not. That's the point.
But I'm asking you to.
If I have to by law, then I will.
You do have to by law, yeah.
Okay, and what section of law says I have to?
I'm telling you that because you committed an offence.
I haven't though.
I suspect that you have.
You suspect that I have?
I suspect that you have.
Okay.
I only need reasonable grounds to suspect. That's 2 to 3 out of 10 on the scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I've got that reasonable suspicion.
Yeah. Can you let me know that lady's name or collar number?
She's a sergeant who was off duty at the time, coming into work for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Because
she's a police
she's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay.
They box him in with a manufactured necessity. If we can't identify you, we'll arrest you to identify you. That is not how arrest powers work. This is officers deciding they want his details and using arrest as the mechanism to obtain them. Arrest cannot exist simply to overcome non-cooperation. And it certainly cannot be grounded in a single, untested suspicion. At that stage, the so-called reasonable grounds are no longer reasonable at all. They're convenient, and that's precisely why the threat works. Faced with the prospect of being taken into custody on a circular justification, he provides his details to prevent the situation from escalating. Not because the law requires it, but because pressure has been deliberately applied to remove any practical alternative. Compliance achieved through the threatened misuse of power is not consent. It's submission.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
If you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?" Yeah. Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to, I'm not going to say the full word, but pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you, you know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it, you know? Right. Yeah. That was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to gain my details. Okay. And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my word.
The officer continues to hide behind the word potentially. Potentially an offense. Potentially Section 4A. That single word is doing all the heavy lifting, because nothing substantive actually exists. Section 4A of the Public Order Act isn't triggered by someone maybe offending you at some undefined point. It requires intent and real impact, not speculation. What makes this worse is how the legal basis keeps shifting. One moment it's one power, then another, then something else entirely. That isn't officers refining their position, it's scrambling. If a genuine offense had been identified, the section wouldn't keep changing. And none of the powers being thrown around suddenly create a right to his personal details. Anyway.
What I'm saying to you is because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence. Yeah. If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE. Oh, okay. Because your name and address cannot be verified. Right. And I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly, and maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Yeah, I'm not. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video, and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
This is the point where any claim of fairness completely disappears. He repeatedly offers the simplest way to resolve the situation: watch the footage, and they refuse. One officer even admits she's acting solely on what she's been told. That isn't assessment. It's blind acceptance. His explanation isn't weighed against evidence, it's dismissed outright. They choose hearsay over footage being offered in real time, protecting a version of events they don't want challenged. Then, only after they've obtained his details, the video suddenly becomes relevant. That timing says everything. If the footage genuinely mattered, it would have been reviewed first. Watching it last isn't investigation. It's damage control.
I might as well speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah. You see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
what happened to the Section 4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar?
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Right, well, I'm going to offer you
can
them.
stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer you them anyway.
No, I don't want to.
The moment they obtain his details, the entire situation collapses instantly. No offense is pursued, no action is taken, and there's no further interest shown. Everything raised up to that point, public order, terrorism, quoted legal sections, simply disappears. That isn't coincidence. If any of those claims genuinely mattered, they wouldn't have been abandoned the second the paperwork was completed. You don't drop a real issue that quickly. This interaction was never about resolving anything. It was about identifying him. Once that box was ticked, there was nothing left to do, because there was never anything else intended. All the legal language used beforehand wasn't a pathway. It was a tactic.
I speak to people in future.
But I didn't speak to anybody in any. She's a liar. I never told her to pee off. She's an absolute liar. I will be making a complaint. Okay. I will be suing. Thank you very much. What's your details?
6468.
From this station?
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From this station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Elland Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her call number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah? See you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
He says this is going to court because the entire encounter was built on events that never actually occurred. A sergeant claims he swore when he didn't. Other officers repeat that claim without checking the footage, and arrest threats are then used to force his personal details from him. Once they get what they want, everything else disappears. That isn't a disagreement, it's a misuse of power. And when officers decide a story is enough and evidence can wait, court becomes the only place left to address it. When Now Yorkshire asks for caller numbers, the response isn't a refusal, it's dismissal. Suddenly, they're too busy to provide the most basic detail that allows scrutiny. Yet only minutes earlier, time wasn't an issue when they were stopping him, questioning him, threatening arrest, and pressing for his personal details. That contrast matters. Officers were decisive when they wanted information from him, but unavailable the moment he asked for accountability in return. Footage that could have resolved the allegation was ignored. Identification that could support a complaint was treated as optional. They escalate quickly, lean on threats, invent offenses, and apply pressure until they get compliance. Then they disengage. No action taken. No offense pursued. No interest left. And that's the giveaway. If this had been about public order, terrorism, or any genuine concern, it wouldn't have ended the moment they got what they wanted. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to support the channel and help keep this kind of accountability in the spotlight. I'm Review the Audits. See you next time.